In this lesson, we'll finish up the roof of our car by adding some resolution, some thickness, and a scoop right in the center. All right, so here is the piece that we've been working on, our roof piece here. So before we add thickness and mirror this guy over to the other side, we need to add a few lines probably of resolution just to hold those edges for when we are going to smooth this. So it looks like we need to add one maybe right down here. Just go to Insert Edge Loop, and I'm just going to insert some edges right along there. And it looks like I want to have one right along here, but if I go and add it, you can see it's adding it straight across. Or if I add it on here, it's adding it straight across, and that's going to affect this side over here and this side over here if I do it that way. Now, one way you could go in and add these edges all along here would be to just select these and extrude them out. That's going to change the location of our edge here, and I want to keep that. So what I can do is I'm just going to draw that edge manually, my split polygon tool. Just going to keep it right along the edge here. Try to keep about the same distance. And then when I get to this spot, I'm going to cut across right over here and then head down to this side. Okay, so I've got my edge where I want it. Now we just need to worry about this guy right here. We've created a little triangle here. Well, to get rid of that guy, all I'm going to do is just select these two vertices. And I'm just going to go merge vertices. And then I'll just kind of space it out a little bit. Just like that. And now that edge is going all the way around there. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead, before we add our thickness, let's go ahead and mirror this over to the other side. So I'm just going to say under polygons, I'm going to go to mesh, mirror that in -X. And if we take a look at this, there are a few points that aren't quite meeting up, so we'll just modify our threshold here. I'm just going to bump that up to 4, 5. Let's go ahead and go up to 0.01. It's getting most of those. There we go. 0.02 will get all those vertices merged together nicely. And now we just need to go in and add a little bit of thickness. So I'm going to select all these faces, and I'm just going to extrude them down. Extrude them down just slightly, and just repeat that. And then I'll just delete those faces. Okay, I'm going to go up here, and I'm just going to reverse that. So we extruded down. It's going to give you that kind of reversed look there. Alright. Let's take a look at this corner right here. If we go ahead and smooth this out, delete the history here. If we sub-D that, you're going to see that you're actually getting a kind of soft corner there. And that can be fixed real easily. Just going to isolate, select that. You can see right here we only have one line defining this. So I'm just going to add split polygon. I'm just going to draw my edge across the corner here. Right down to the bottom. And then I'll repeat that. Right along there. And then I'll just delete this top corner edge. Okay. So now instead of one edge, we have two. And if we go ahead and take a look at that and compare it to the other side, you can see how sharp that edge is now compared to this side. So just go ahead and repeat that process on the other side, and you'll be good to go. There we go. And now all we need to do is add a scoop, much like we did on the hood. We have a little scoop right up here on the top. Okay. So I'm going to go in and look at how we can redraw this geometry here to match this scoop. And it looks like I'm just going to go ahead and add an extra line in right there. Okay. And you can go ahead and just translate that up slightly if you want, just to kind of maintain that curvature. Just a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to just draw these points in along the normal. Just kind of match up this. It's kind of angled in a little bit, so I'm just going to try to match that up. Grabbing those points and just moving them along the surface. Here we go. And now I can just select those faces. Right, let's say these faces right here. Well, it looks like it kind of goes, see how far it goes. Looks like it goes up a little bit farther. I'm going to go ahead and grab these points and just scale them in X. And I can go ahead and grab these faces, maybe all the way up to there. Let's just get these guys. And then we're going to extrude these down. So I'm going to just do extrude, and I'm going to come straight down, and then I'm going to rotate that whole group of faces so that it's more horizontal, and then move it back and even scale it back a little bit. So try to keep this this face more vertical. Okay, and you can rotate it a little bit more, push it down a little bit maybe, and we'll come back here and smooth this out slightly, but we just want to get that scoop in there. Alright, I'm going to just smooth these guys out by grabbing these points, and I'll just push those back in U right there. And maybe pull these up a little bit, just so we don't get kind of a dent there. And we can move these up too, just a little bit. Alright, so now I'm just going to add, one edge right here, just going to end up going all the way around, so that I can come in here and grab these faces, and then just extrude those straight back. I'll just extrude that in. And now what we need to do, I'm going to add one more, probably right at the top here. And then we can go in here and space these out a little bit. I'll just grab this row of points and move it back. Back slightly, and this last one, just kind of space them out a little bit better. If you're going to be smoothing something and you want it to be, you don't want a crease or an edge there, it's good to space those points out, as we've seen in this kit. Alright, so let's take a look here. Looks like we need maybe one more line right up here to define this guy. So I'm going to go ahead, instead of putting it right there, which is going to maybe possibly create a crease all the way along here, I'm going to just place it right in the center. And this may seem familiar. We did this a little bit earlier. We're going to go back and revisit that. I'm just going to grab these points right here, these edges, and I'll just delete those. So now we've got the resolution where we want it here and here, but these edges we actually don't want to be there. We want to be moved over, so rather than move those, I'm just going to delete them and then add those edges right where I want them. And since this is cut off, this edge that we add isn't going to go any farther than this. Okay, and then I'll go back in and connect those. There we go, and then I'll just connect the bottom part here. And let's go ahead and delete the history. And it looks like this guy needs to come out just a little bit. It's like we're getting kind of a weird little curve there. All right, now let's smooth this out and see how this is looking on this side where we've done this work. Turn off our wireframe. All right, looks like we need another edge right up here. This is a little bit soft. And then we might be good to go. We'll check that out. There we go. So I'm going to just add an edge right along here. And I'm going to use kind of the same technique I used before. And I'm going to just grab these points. And let's see, I'm going to go from here right down along this edge. And this time I'm only going to draw right to the center. And then I'm just going to grab these three edges and delete those. Okay. And then I'm going to just grab all these faces on the side. Get rid of those. So we've got the side with our good geometry that we've created that we like. And I'm going to just smooth that up. Looks like we've got something that we missed over there. So that scoop is actually looking pretty good at that point. So make sure you have, I'll show you if you have any stray little points there hanging out. And now what we have to do is go ahead and mirror this. Let's actually, because we added that detail to this edge, but it was on this side, you want to make sure you add all of your resolution to the same side. So when you mirror that over, all that good geometry will get taken with it. So in this case, we'll just redraw this right here. And delete that. So now we've got all the detail that we want included here. So I'll just remirror that, and then we'll check out and see how it looks. Check out make sure everything is merged together like it should be. Looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and subdue that and check it out. Turn off our wireframe. All right, that looks pretty good. We've got a nice scoop going on in our roof geometry. And we've got some thickness added, and we've got that resolution added for the subdivision. So in the next lesson, we're going to come in here and start actually working on these side pieces and work our way down to the side window here.